I'm trying to always move out of my comfort zone and step by step, always moving forwards. However, it has been a year, always the same routine, same route, and faced by the same fear. Though the fear is getting lesser, is it because I'm always doing the same routine, hence the fear did not diminish? So surely, it's a good thing that your fear is still there, okay? Your fear is innately a biological response to danger. And it makes sense why we fear things. We come from an era whereby things could have totally jumped, pounced on us, killed us in an instant. Think about the caveman era. Yes? It was dangerous. There was everything trying to eat us alive. We didn't even know what to eat to keep ourselves alive. So it was a very dangerous era. And that is rooted in our psychology, biology. So the fear that you feel is innately a normal response. Now, the good news is this. If you're feeling fear every single day, it means you're doing something, even if it's the same routine, in a way that is good for you. Because after all, what is the number one sign you're stepping outside your inner prison? Is you feel fear. I mean, you know what I'm saying? What's the number one sign you're doing something abnormal in your life? You feel pretty scared. Yes? And you know how true this really is. You've made decisions in your life before, the small decisions. You don't think about it a lot. There's no fear. Yes? Such as, what shall I eat for breakfast? It's not like you're crippling with fear. But when it comes to the bigger decisions, what shall I do in my career? When it's bigger, when it's greater, when it's something perhaps you don't do often, then you get stuck in fear because it's abnormal. So the good news, Shirley, is you're doing the right thing. Now, if you want to ensure that perhaps you overcome this fear so you can find the next fear to overcome, then you want to take a bigger step forwards. So if, for example, when I was struggling with public speaking and feeling fear all the time, my mentor said, Tim, you want to make sure that you stop getting in your comfort zone every time you're speaking. And I said to him, what do you mean? He said, you're so reserved, Tim, not very animated. And I said, yeah, that's not who I am. I'm quite an introvert, quite shy. And he said, exactly, Tim. So next time you're on the stage, I want you to wave your hands around and make sure you show like the emotions, right? And all of a sudden I started doing it. It's a big step forwards, very uncomfortable. But eventually I overcome the fear of vulnerability. But of course, there's a new fear for me right now. And there's always going to be a fear for you as well. So the good news is the fear will always be there. And also the great news is, as long as it's there, it means you're freaking alive. Because let me remind you this. Perfection is a death of all evolution. We dream of this perfect life, but imagine if the world was perfect right now. How depressing would it be if every single day is just the same thing? Same thing every single day. Everything's perfect. There's no creativity. There's no need for change. It will be so freaking boring. Yes or no? And yet we strive for perfection. There's nothing wrong with striving for perfection. Just realize that end goal is the death of us as human beings. There will be no need to move, get out of bed. It's literally killing ourselves before we're actually dead. So surely embrace the fear, because remember this. Your relationship with fear is what's determining your behavioral response, not the fear itself. You know, people, because we've been, we best intent at heart, have been studying personal development, have unknowingly taken on what's called toxic positivity. And not a lot of personal development individuals talk about this, but it's important for us to acknowledge. Just because you feel positive doesn't mean your life will be positive. You know, some people have murdered each other in the name of love. So-called positive emotion. Just because you feel good doesn't mean you're going to have a great life, by the way. No way. Right? I can feel good today and still do things that can sabotage me. Right? Likewise, vice versa. If you've got bad emotions, quote unquote, doesn't mean you have to live a bad life. That's a choice. So remember what emotions are. It's just an emotion. Yes? It's in motion. So where do you want to be in motion in your life? You want to use the fear as your fuel to transcend you to that next step of your evolution. That's the purpose of fear. It's the fear, it's the fuel. Are you getting this?